So we're going to talk about digital transformation in communication service providers and essentially talk about what is going on there and why. So it all boils down to two things, customers and the competition. What has happened in the industry over the last few years is that cloud and cloud-based services have changed the game in terms of how services get delivered, how services get consumed, and the speed at which these things happen. And this is creating a profound impact on how communication service providers have to deal with this environment. From a customer point of view, the expectations have risen. They expect more from a communication service provider. They want more control over their services. They want to be able to change and adjust them more rapidly than in the traditional world. So what communication service providers have to do is to adapt to this new model. Traditional services that they were providing, like voice, texting, data, and video, they are increasingly being commoditized and lack differentiation. So in this background and landscape, service providers have to reinvent themselves, which means they have to create new business models around speed, agility, customer control, and rapid service innovation. So where do they actually start? They have to start with the network, which is their core asset. This is the thing that gives them an advantage. If you look at what's happening in today's networks, they are built on what we call custom platforms that are difficult to adapt, change, modify to rapidly changing conditions in the customer's environment. So this, what it does is every time a customer wants a change or adds a new service, it takes them months to make that change happen. So to change this paradigm, what the communication service providers have to do is move to a model what we call programmable networks. Just like you program a computer or a piece of software to make a change or to deliver a service, the network themselves have to be able to be programmed in near real time, either by the customer or the service provider. And this is what we call network as a service. And the technologies that are making this possible are technologies like software-defined networking, network function virtualization. These are all software technologies that create a brand new infrastructure that is more malleable, programmable. So that's the first layer, is the layer of the network. The second layer where change has to take place is what we call traditionally the OSS and the BSS layer. This is the software that surrounds the network. This is the software that interfaces the network with the end customer and also the network with the operations people within a communication service provider. Historically, this software has been built around monolithic architectures, slow-moving changes, and this has become an impediment to the speed at which services get delivered. Now, what the operators are looking at as part of the digital transformation is to move to a technology which leverages machine learning, artificial intelligence to drive more automation and more predictive management so that problems can be avoided rather than reacting to real problems in the network. So once you have the network in place, which is software controlled and programmable, once you have an OSS architecture in place, which is driven by intelligence like machine learning, now you have a platform on which services can be delivered. And already we see in the operator network, some of these services are starting to roll out. Things like SD-WAN, things like industrial IoT. And what we are seeing on the horizon is connected cars and autonomous vehicles. Electronic health, patient monitoring, and remote health diagnostics. And more futuristically, things like augmented reality and virtual reality. So all of these services are going to create new revenue streams for service providers, which is the main driver for the digital transformation. Not to lower cost as much, but to drive the top line revenue. So as the operators look to create this network and offer services, the challenge is going to be, how do you grow and retain the subscriber base? Because that's how your revenue is going to grow. One thing they have to be cognizant about is in this software model, it's just as easy for a customer to switch their service provider from one to another because it's all based on software, just like they do today in the cloud world. If they don't like a cloud provider, they switch to another one. Same thing they can do in this new world, that there is no way to create that. It becomes very difficult to create that stickiness unless the operators can step up the game and provide a level of service that they can delight the customers with. So this is where I think Netscout can really help our customers, that we, through our technology and solutions, we can help them create an environment where customers not only get to consume new services, but are delighted at the way these services are delivered. They get more control over their services, they can change them in near real time, and they have an excellent customer service experience from the operators.